I really, really hate the off season. And if you follow me for my Grimsby content, yes, it is that time of the year again, the off season, where my channel has to get really creative at things we talk about for the next 2 months. So I'm going to do what I always do, which is talk about leagues that no one here in my country watches, and probably yours. So today, in honor of two really, really good friends that I have from work, we're going to be talking about the Indian Super League. And this is going to be sort of a reaction video where I pull up the team Crest and I tell you what I would think they mean and how cool they are and how much that I like them. This is all my opinion based, not actually based on anything else. So let me make sure I lead with that. And in terms of the Indian Super League, I know very little about it. I used to before I moved out to Texas, I lived in Vegas, and I had an East Coast based job where I would have to get up really, really early in the mornings. And due to that, when I would turn on ESPN, this was circa 2021, I would actually see the Indian Super League games televised. And I would turn them on for noise, and I would every now and then look up and watch a few minutes of it. I know Mumbai City and probably one or two other teams, Goa, I believe, and Northeast, either FC or United. But that's about all I know. So I have purposely not looked at the teams in the league so I can get like an actual live reaction when I'm pulling these up. So I'm probably going to be putting the what I'm looking at on the screen and then me in a little box in the corner so I can actually speak while you look at it with me. So without further ado, let's get into today's content. All right, so now that I am safely in the corner of the screen, I am just going to go in the order that the teams are listed on Wikipedia, which has no indication of how good the team actually is. In fact, I don't even have a clue who's good in this league and who's not good in this league. If I had to make a guess, I would say Mumbai City is good since they are, I assume, part of the City group, but I don't know. I'll figure that out when we get to them. So the first team we're pulling up is, and by the way, full disclosure, I'm probably going to pronounce some of these teams wrong because I don't speak any language in India. But this first team is called Punjab Football Club, and I'm looking at it, and my first thoughts on this is it reminds me of Galatasaray, kind of, especially with the colors. Um, Considering the location, I imagine this team is good, but I'm looking at the a little bit of text on this team, and it looks like a fairly new team and a team that is not. Goodness, they play in a capacity 60,000 seat stadium. Wow. Okay, so I don't have a clue how good this team is, but their crest, I actually quite like it. I like the colors. I like whatever's going on there in the middle of it. Yeah, this is a cool crest. I would rate. You know what? Let's rate these out of 10. I would rate this at 8 out of 10. I like it. The next team I'm pulling up is Odisha or Odesha. I'm not sure how you say that either. Uh, oh, I love this crest. This is a cool looking crest. It's got a boat and what looks like some sort of navigation seal. Um, I don't know where this is, but I assume it's on the coast. Let me see if I can find out really quickly where this team is located at. But I love the colors. I love everything about this, and it does look like it's a coastal city, so that does make a lot of sense. Um, Founded, it looks like they were founded 10 years ago, and 5 years ago they became this particular club. So another fairly new squad. That's interesting. But yeah, I actually Like this one slightly more than the previous one. I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10. So let's go to the next one. Oh, Northeast United. Okay, so I'm going to be as unbiased as I possibly can here because, in terms of location, my favorite part of India is Nagaland. And in the Indian Premier League, Super League, um, this is the team that's closest to that location. So, if I've got to pick a team here, this is the team I'm going to pick. But based off the crest itself, it's okay. It's just okay. I don't think anything stands out. I don't think anything's great, but I don't necessarily think anything's bad about it. There's a lot of stars there on the top, though. Um, I mean, historically, that means titles. So I don't know if that has any indication of being good or not, but at least in most of the world, that means you're good. 21 seats capacity stadium. The Highlanders, that makes complete sense, is what their team squad is called. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I don't think anything's terrible about it. And just so we're clear, if I give a team a 5, I think that's pretty much average. I don't think you're doing anything good, but I don't think you're doing anything bad. I would give this one a 4.5 out of 10. So, yeah, nothing to look twice at here. The next squad is Mumbai City. Now, the Wikipedia page, assuming it's accurate, does confirm that they are part of the City Group, which is what I assumed looking at the crest and going by the name City. Um, I mean, it looks cool. There's nothing bad about it. I don't think anything necessarily completely stands out. I would give it maybe like a 6 out of 10. It actually looks like City Football Group owns 65% of the club, so it's not a full takeover. They're called the Islanders. That's interesting. I don't think of islands when I think of Mumbai. And I'm looking at the crest. It looks sort of, I can't really tell what that is. Looks like maybe there's a bridge in the background, maybe. I can't really tell what I'm looking at here. But either way, it's a cool looking crest. Yeah, I think a 6.5 out of 10 is fair on this one. And now we're going to go to the next one. And oh my goodness, I'm going to butcher this name. Mohan Bagan Supergiant. What a name. Uh, and I'm going to be honest with you, I really like this crest. It has the words in it that I just said that I feel like I said completely wrong. 135 years ago founded. So this is an old club. It says they were the first all-Indian club to win a championship over a British club during India's push for independence. That's interesting. So, what do I like about this? Well, first of all, that shade of red and that shade of green, I think, go really nicely together. I'm not sure what their kits look like, but their kits actually look pretty cool too. And it looks like they're a fairly successful team. In 2004, I'm sorry, 2024-25, looks like they won the league, so that's kind of cool. Their stadium looks huge, so this has to be a pretty big team in India. And I think their crest is pretty cool. Um, I can't tell what that is in the middle. It almost looks like an old school looking boat, but I don't know anything about the city that this team is from either. It doesn't look like, well, it looks like the city might be on a river. I'm not sure. By the way, feel free to educate me in the comments if you know about these cities and clubs because I don't know anything about them. I'm learning as I do this video, literally. The next squad we have is Mohammedan SC. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right either. This looks like it definitely has some Muslim based symbolism in the crest. So I don't know if that would mean this is more. Oh, it looks like it's in the same city as the last one. That's interesting. But the crest itself, it's okay. I like it better than a couple. I would say maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Um, I definitely don't dislike it. It's relatively plain, but there's just a lot going on at the top of this crest. I'm gonna try to lean closer. I can't tell if those are flowers at the top. Possibly flowers. Not sure. But either way, we'll move on to the next one, which is ugh, Kerala Blasters. Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet. This reminds me of a Nigerian crest called Enyimba Football Club. There's an elephant on the crest, which always gets points in my book if there's an animal on the crest, and it's holding a football. Which, speaking of, I don't know if these are called. I don't know if India calls soccer or football. If they call the sport soccer or football. So leave me a note in the comments if you're Indian. What do you all call it? Is it soccer or football in your country? I'm assuming it's probably football with the British, with the old British connection, but I cannot confirm that. This is another team that looks, man, these stadiums are massive. 80,000 people. I don't know if they're just playing in possibly cricket stadiums, maybe, but my goodness, these stadiums look massive. I'm assuming these have to be for cricket because I don't think soccer is insanely popular in India. But anyway, back to this crest. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a straight 7 out of 10. It's pretty simple, but I think simple in this particular case works. The Tuskers, that makes sense. The Yellow Army, that also makes sense. Yeah, this is a cool little crest. So our next squad, how many do we have left here? I don't think there's many teams in India. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like we've got a handful left here. So the next squad is Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur. I'm sure I'm butchering that one. And I'm sure whenever my coworkers watch this, they're going to tell me how bad I was at saying some of these squad names. Yeah, I don't like this crest like whatsoever. What is that on the side? I can't really tell what that is on the side. There's a lot of symbolism on the side. I think it's almost like a crest within a crest. It's almost yeah, it's almost like a. I feel like you could make this on an app. Soccer ball with fire. Yeah, I don't like that at all. The red miners. I mean, maybe this means something to the region that I just don't understand, but I'm not a fan. This is my least favorite so far. I would give this one a 3 out of 10. And there's another quite large stadium, 24,000. It looks like they're only 7 years old. 5th out of 13 teams. Okay, so they weren't terrible. They're not a terrible team. Interesting. So we will move on. Our next one is, it's loading. Hyderabad FC. Hyderabad. And this is another crest that I'm not necessarily a fan of. I like the colors, don't get me wrong. I do like the colors. It reminds me of some Saudi clubs. This is one of the smaller stadiums we've had so far, 18,000. Another relatively new team. I don't have much to say about this one. It's not my favorite. They got a big star on top, which, again, if those stars mean the same thing as they do here in the US and Europe, then that means they won something. What they won, I don't know. Oh, actually, 2020, the German club Borussia Dortmund struck a partnership with the club for grassroots development. That explains the colors. That definitely explains the colors, but I don't. Before I move on, do they have any German players on their squad? I don't see any. Huh. Well, then I don't know what the specifics of that partnership was. But anyway, moving on. Looks like we've got 5 left, and the next one is Goa. And from the pictures, this town actually looks really cool. 19,000 Goa. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's a cool looking crest as well. Um, it almost looks like sort of a bull in the crest. I hope I'm not completely way off there. It looks like it would be a bull with like the horns and everything. Um, this is a nice crest. I would give it a 6.8 out of 10. I like the colors. Their kits, I like their home kit. I don't really like the away kit. The home kit looks cool. And hey, if you're interested in a job, looks like they have a head coaching vacancy. But anyway, back to the actual crest. We got four squads left. The next one is East Bengal FC, and I have seen this region pop up quite a bit with some of these teams. So I'm assuming there's quite a lot of rivalries in that area. Um, I don't know what to think about this one. First of all, and another huge stadium. My goodness. And I know I've seen this stadium name before, so I know there is another squad that plays at this stadium. So I'm not crazy when I think that there are multiple squads in this region. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10. And this is an old squad, 104 years ago. So this is one of the OGs. And so I hate to score it so low, but the Torchbearer, I mean, don't get me wrong, everything, the club nicknames and everything, it lines up with the actual crest, but not for me. Next, we've got the Churchill Brothers. That's an interesting name. Churchill Brothers in Goa. Oh, wow. So maybe there's a Goa derby. 19,000. So I love red and black together. Um, this reminds me of Bohemians in Ireland, their colors. But I don't like the white that's in this crest, and I don't like the text in the crest, especially that FC Goa there at the bottom. That looks kind of, I don't know, something about that looks off. I think you could do a little bit more with the verbiage in this crest, but I think it's fine. I would give it a 5 out of 10. It has potential to be higher, but there's just a couple of things that I really don't like about it. Established 1988. That's a hell of a good year, by the way. Go them. And we've got two left, and probably two very hard ones for me to say. Chennaiyin, Chennaiyin, Chennaiyin FC, which, hey, coworker, I'm not going to say your name because I don't know if you want me to say your name in this video, but I know that's your hometown. So you're probably going to smack me for how I just butchered that name. So this is one of the squads that I knew of before I did this video. I really, 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 really like this crest. I love the historical significance, or I should say the cultural significance behind this. I guess the picture within the crest, in which I was educated on one day, and I don't want to butcher the story, but it just basically means it's like good luck, I guess you could say. It's a symbol for good luck, positivity, that sort of thing. So I like the colors of this. I think it's unique. It reminds me of UCLA here in the U.S. I would give this one, honestly, an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely one of my favorite ones in the league. And we'll move on to the last one, if my computer will load it, which is Bengaluru. So there's a lot to take in on this one. It's only 11 years old, but judging by the crest, I would say this. I would have thought this was one of the OGs of the league. It almost looks like sort of a German bird there at the bottom, and it looks like some sort of castle, outline of a castle. And there's 3 stars, so maybe that means they've won the title 3 times. 5.5 out of 10. I don't think it's bad, but I think I might rank this higher if I understood what some of the symbolism in this crest meant. Let's see, really quickly before I end this. 25,000 seat stadium. Oh, they have a really cool third kit. It's pink and blue. That's cool. Well, anyway, back to the actual video. That ends my actual rankings, at least that part of the video. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I definitely appreciate it, and I appreciate spending a little bit of your time out of your day with me. If you want me to do more league blind rankings like this, drop it in the comments and let me know the league. I can't promise you it's going to be a complete, much as a surprise as this one was, because I'm going to be honest, I only knew maybe 3 of these squads, so I literally was learning about these during the video. But drop a league if you want me to blind rank something like this. This was actually pretty fun to do and pretty easy video to make for off-season content. But thank you. Drop a comment, drop a like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Have a perfect weekend and have a awesome week. I hope everybody's safe and having the time of your life. Peace, guys.